I can't tell you, if you don't know anything about doing live video or doing video at all when it comes to lighting, sound, any of that stuff, you know I've traveled a lot. Every room is different. Every lighting situation is different. Did I remember my mic? Did I remember my lighting? All of that stuff comes into play when creating these videos. So please understand the amount of effort that I put in before I even go to make a video, to make sure the lighting's right. And look, I never necessarily get it perfect, but this will have to do. As you know, I am here in Las Vegas covering BravoCon for you guys. I've given all the members a lot of behind the scenes tea. We even did a special members only live get ready with me for bed last night for our members only. So if you're a member, be sure to check that out. If you're not and you want to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. Shout out to all of our members. We appreciate their support. And you guys got a bunch of perks that's not even included in the membership. We've also posted some coverage from the panels here on the channel as well, so be sure to check that out. And of course, some drama and things like that. I did not post part 2 of the drama with you know who here, but if you want to see it immediately, head on over to my TikTok at TheKempire. As you know, you probably saw the title of this video. This is a recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac's premiere episode for season 8. Was it giving? How would you rate it? What did you think of it? Replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts on the season premiere of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I know the housewives are here still in Vegas. Some probably have left already. So they can't even necessarily promote this like they normally would. I'm not sure if it was a good idea or a bad idea to have BravoCon and the premiere of Married to Medicine and Potomac at the same time. I don't know. I can see the benefits. I can see the cons. Who knows? But before we get into any of that, let's do a countdown and then let's get into the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8, Episode 1 recap.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. If you missed it, we posted a quick recap of everything that came out in regards to the Real Housewives of Atlanta during BravoCon weekend, including some of the things that Andy Cohen has said, Kenya Moore has said, and some behind the scenes tea that I shared in that video. So if you missed it, be sure to check out that video that we posted this morning. But I know you've been waiting for me to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. We will get back into doing our live recaps with callers and things like that, probably with episode, if not next episode, definitely the 3rd episode. I just can't promise you. I just trying to remember when and where I get back. So as you know, I still will be traveling after BravoCon. It was a jam-packed weekend of events, but I also got to see Adele. I made sure I was like, I'm going to see Adele. This is her last show for 2023. I'm going to see Adele, and it was amazing. But that's not what you're here for. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe. It is a subscribers only live chat. And be sure to check out everything Kempire at TheKempire.com, including our merch. Yes. All right, so let's get into this episode because, as you already know, the way the season ended last season with Robyn and her hiding this story. She says during BravoCon weekend she wasn't hiding; it just wasn't happening during the time of filming. So she's not going to bring up something that they've already moved on from. Okay, fair. Whatever. So, but they're using all of that drama to discuss that for Robyn's storyline in the very first episode. It's the jump off from everything that happened off camera last season. So the very first scene that we get, of course, it makes complete sense. It would make no sense if our first scene was something else. Our first scene is with Juan and Robyn. They even kiss in the scene. Did you guys notice? You producers are taking notes. I told you we're not going to believe it unless we see some actual affection between these two. Anyways, I will say this because it's important to note, because it is mentioned during the episode, because in this very first scene, they're covering everything, everything that's been going on between Robyn and Juan, including, the lawsuit, including, well, at this point, I don't think he lost his job. No, he did lose his job because they talked about that and the reason why. They're saying that the reason why he lost his job was not because of the lawsuit. We have to keep in mind that lawsuit, I know we did not get a chance to do an update to let you guys know that it was dismissed. Didn't mean that lawsuit was over, but it was dismissed. So, but also Juan was dismissed from his duties. And a lot of you that follow the sports, here we go, KSPN loading, said his record over there was terrible. He had a terrible record. He even tried to sort of like sugarcoat it in this conversation about why his record was what it was. I don't know, Juan. I don't follow college basketball, but it is what it is. But of course, Juan and Robyn discuss as she's putting these photos together from the wedding. First of all, I'm going to start off with something good. Robyn, your home is beautiful. I don't know why you didn't help your friend Gizelle. Your home is gorgeous. Gorgeous. She has a beautiful home. For me, if I had to pick, all of them have pretty nice homes, but I have to say hers would probably be my favorite on the inside. On the outside, you would never expect how beautiful the home is on the inside, right? Anyone else? The outside kind of reminds me of Robyn, regular. You know what I mean? But on the inside, so maybe this is a metaphor for Robyn. She might be regular on the outside, but spectacular on the inside. This is when I miss my sound effects. All right. But so her and Juan sit down to have a conversation about the woman in Canada. As you know, shout out to Giorgio Says. Giorgio, they had an interview with, shout out to Giorgio. I saw Giorgio this weekend as well. I'm surprised that they didn't highlight Giorgio's interview because that would have been even better. But I guess they didn't want to go in. They do like Robyn. The producers do like Robyn. But that would have been kind of cool to insert that interview, but they didn't. It's okay. Or maybe Giorgio said no, unless you're going to, do this, and this. I mean, I'll have to ask him. Maybe that's why. I don't know. And maybe he didn't want to sign over the rights to his interview. I understand that. I don't know. Or maybe they didn't. Like I said, I feel like producers like Robyn, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did not reach out for a clip from the interview. So Juan talked about how he's just a good, he didn't use these words, but I'm going to say it. He's a good Samaritan. He was helping this woman out in her hotel room. She lost her wallet. La, 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 la. That was the story that Robyn was giving right after this all blew up, and none of us believed it then. But I've said this before, like, Robyn, if you want to believe it, if you want to deal with this, I never really believed that this was an actual relationship right now. I believe that this is a beneficial situation for both of you to keep your job on this show. This drama only helped secure your position for this season and maybe next season. I don't know about next season. We'll see how this season plays out. Just saying. But I will give Real Housewives of Potomac credit, especially after you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta's BravoCon panel. Last year, it was the same thing. Potomac brought it during their panel. The Potomac brought it again during their panel. This BravoCon, Karen and Robyn, very much like last year, you don't necessarily see it play out during the season. However, at BravoCon, you're like, damn, they really don't like each other. They really are these ongoing issues. Maybe we'll see that play out more this season, okay? But Juan is just saying, I'm a good Samaritan. Here's the thing that I don't understand. And Robyn has says, he was wrong for communicating with this woman at all. I'm just trying to understand why he was communicating with this woman in general. Like, how did this friendship start? He says that she was actually in the DMV area to meet another player. So she wasn't really there to meet him. Okay. I still just don't understand what the situation is. Especially because they've dealt with cheating in their relationship before. This is not the first time that they've dealt with cheating or dishonesty. All right? On both sides, right? Because when I say dishonesty, didn't Robyn not fully inform him of their financial stuff or something like that? I can't remember the full details of Robyn's situation. I know they got scammed by their now deceased friend, but I also believe that on some level, Robyn wasn't fully forthcoming with some of their financial stuff. You guys will remind me in the live chat or the comment section. So I feel like there was a level of dishonesty on both sides, okay? But we're not going tit for tat, right? Or teat for toot, as Ion would say. All right. And then, of course, and I never really felt like this was much of anything, to be honest with you. And I think I've said this countless times. I mean, of course, it wasn't a good look to have Juan out getting his nails done with his colleague, or at the laundromat with his colleague. We also said, because a lot of you do follow sports, especially for his tier of a team, they don't have the finances where they have these separate people doing the laundry. A lot of times during go-away games, coaches like Juan are doing the laundry themselves. Okay. But the optics after this rumor came out and this whole scandal came out, the optics of Juan out with Coach Bree, who Robyn believes looks like her. You guys have seen Coach Bree. Beautiful. But honestly, she looks like a younger version of Karen Huger. Like, if you told me that was Karen Huger's daughter, I would believe you. She looks like... And... I mean, I would get it. Remember Karen last season said, I hear that there's this woman, a blonde woman that looks very much like me. I mean, I don't believe this is who she was referring to, but if she was, it would make complete sense, because when you look at this woman, you're like, oh, I can see it. I can see it. I mean, come on, put the wig on the woman. It kind of looks like Karen. But Coach Bree is his colleague, but Robyn says to Juan, the streets are hot. You shouldn't be doing this. And he says, they both kind of agree that she's a beautiful woman. Robyn's like, yeah, she kind of looks like me. She doesn't look like you, Robyn. Just because you both are light skinned. No, I already had that problem this weekend. People trying to mix me up with someone else that's my skin complexion. But anyways, that's a whole other story that we won't get into here. All right. So they discussed that whole situation, and Juan, if you just we'd love to look at the body language and the smirk on Juan's face, and we already know that they've discussed this and how they're going to discuss this on camera. I wouldn't be surprised if they have discussed this with a producer and how they're going to address this on camera. They're really trying to downplay the situation. And first of all, rewinding back to Canada lady, he's like, when referencing this woman, when Robyn brings this woman up in regards to, I think she said, I don't remember her exact words, to the effect of did you think of doing anything with her because you went to her hotel room, blah, 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 blah. And Juan had the nerve to be like, have you seen her? And I love what Cherie says later when they confront Robyn. It doesn't matter who these men, there are plenty, and I know a lot of you might have stories very similar. There are plenty of men that will cheat with women that do not look half as good as the women that they're supposedly committed to. Okay? Because for some men, a hole is a hole. Okay, I said it. All right. It's not Sunday. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Be sure to share this video, because one of the best things that I've heard consistently during BravoCon, especially meeting some of you that watch the content, is that your friends were telling me, she always tells me about some of the things that you've posted. I love the fact that you guys sharing, because sharing is caring. I know you guys think the entire world knows about what we do over here, but they don't. They don't. And I don't take that for granted. And I appreciate all of you sharing the content with your family, friends, cousins, coworkers, and strangers. I appreciate it. So thank you. Keep doing it. All right, let's get the message out there. So he was like, have you seen her? I can't remember what the woman looked like at this point because there's been so many. I mean, I've allegedly, never mind. I'm not going to even get into the Juan rumors. If you're in the DMV, you've heard about the Juan rumors and the women and blah, 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 whatever. All right. Karen has too. All right. But he says, have you seen her? All right, Juan. It felt like a very rehearsed scene. It felt very rehearsed. It felt like, Robyn, we understand that you're going to be with this man regardless of what we think or believe. It doesn't matter. I did feel for Robyn because she felt like the world was just coming down on her and she was paying for Juan's mistakes. Here's the thing. I don't think people are coming down on Robyn for that, for Juan's mistakes. I think people are coming down on Robyn for justifying it and for not sharing it when you're on a reality show and then putting it behind a paywall. I think that is people's issue with it. And I've said this before, I don't believe people should be harassing Robyn in her comments or her DMs. Remember, she's posted some of the nasty and disgusting things that people have said to her in DMs. Like, it's one thing for us to talk about Robyn and what she does on the show or what comes out on social media. That's one thing. But to harass these people in their comments or in person is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Talk about the show on your platform or on social media. That's fine. But because my thing is, if Robyn wants to hear what I have to say about her, she would have to come and look. I'm not tagging Robyn. I'm not putting Robyn. I'm saying what I'm saying here. All right? She might not like it, but that's okay. That's okay. Robyn didn't approach me at BravoCon and be like, I can't stand you. I mean, maybe she wanted to. I didn't see Robyn. Besides at the panel, I didn't see her like out and about. She didn't have a booth this year either. Not everyone had a booth this year, and I wonder why. I wonder if they are charged to have a booth or if it's just not worth it for them to do a booth. Because Candy and Kenya didn't have a booth either this year. Sheree had a booth though. I mean, she didn't really have a lot of merchandise there, but she had a booth. Okay. All right. So we have this scene. Like one of the first like semi-group scenes that we get in this episode, and it's with Karen, Wendy, and Candiace. They meet up to have some drinks. Wendy's carrying a rosary in her purse, which I thought was interesting because I'm wondering the timeline of events because later on, NECA, who we have not met yet in this first episode, brings up the whole tribalism. Shout out to our friends in Africa that comes up later about her family is cursed and her mom is praying to shrines and things like that. So I'm not wondering the timeline because I know we all assume things are filmed in the appropriate timelines. I'm wondering if these rumors were already being spread at this time and why she happens to pull out a rosary out of her purse. I don't know. All right. So of course they're talking about the Juan and Robyn situation because that is the situation that is the hot topic right now while they're filming. Karen says the funniest thing. Karen is so funny. Karen was ripping and running during that panel too. So she said, I've only been dealing with Juan's domestic women, not his international ones. She's such a kiki. I'm sorry. She's so funny to me. Candiace brings up that she's not even sure if Robyn and Juan are even married. And that has been something a lot of people have been saying, like, I have not seen the marriage certificate. And usually people are able to find that information. No one has been able to find Robyn and Juan's marriage certificate. So now that's the other rumor on whether they got married or not. I don't know what to believe. I don't know if you can seal those documents. I believe you can if you want, depending on the state. You guys will chime in below. So, but no one has seen this marriage certificate, even though Robyn has said, I'm surprised people haven't seen the marriage certificate. Remember, she said that thing on Watch What Happens Live, so she's making it seem like, the marriage certificate should be easy to find. So I don't know what happened there, but what I do know is Candiace doesn't necessarily believe, because now people are speculating that is this relationship not real? We've said, I don't know if this relationship is real. I wouldn't be shocked that they're using this relationship to secure their biggest paycheck. Especially right now, this is their biggest paycheck. Don't tell me Embezzled is selling like that. No, her biggest paycheck is the show. And now Juan is not working. Has Juan gotten a new job yet? Do we know? I don't think so. We would have known this. But I will remind you, the lawsuit that he was accused of some damning things at this university has been dismissed. Not sure if it's going to be refiled. Okay? All right. So they're catching up and they're talking about all the situations that are happening with Robyn and Juan. And Karen is just like, she is gonna have a lot of things to answer for. I wonder if Karen's going to be doing her recaps again on her YouTube channel. You know, she did a little bit of that during last season. That will be interesting to get some insight on the episodes. All right. Let's move on. Ashley is still not divorced. She's got this $2.2 million home. It was like 4-bedroom, 5-bath. Michael Dixon is still in the picture. His name is on the mortgage. She says that he is paying child support. Right? He gave her the down payment for this house. But you may recall, we found out last season that a lot of people assumed after she hit a certain point in her marriage, she was going to get half of everything. And we all said, y'all really think that Michael Darby is that dumb? He's a lot of things. But Michael Darby is far from dumb when it comes to his money. All right? So we found out during the reunion that Ashley was getting pretty much nothing besides child support. How much she's getting in child support, I don't know. But she says that she's only getting, she's getting just child support, and he did the down payment. She says that they are going through this divorce. There's still things that they need to figure out in regards to custody and things like that. I'm like, do you guys really have a contentious situation when it comes to custody? Those kids are with you. They're not with Michael. I was a little concerned with the kids. Yes, it's just her, these two boys. The way that her son was on the counter, then on the table. I was like, and these are like marble sharp edges. And I'm not a parent, but I have better sense than what was going on in that kitchen. Like, I was concerned. Dean is pulling up Dylan onto the hard marble counter. If they both, like, I just thinking about it, I'm just like, oh my God, get that child. But of course, the cameraman is not going to stop Ashley from doing what Ashley's doing, because this is great stuff for us to watch and judge her for. And look, we get it. Being a single mom, is not easy. But I was just like, no, we need them not in the kitchen right now. Like, they could hit their head on these sharp edges. They're climbing up on these counters. What if Dean drops his brother as he's trying to pull him up? I'm like, I was really like, why are we showing this? What is happening right now? And I get it. There are plenty of things that moms have done that we have not seen on camera that we probably would have judged. I'm like, that is dangerous. I'm mad that we're seeing this. I'm just like, Ashley, go get your boys. It's like they're climbing up on things. Like, what if he hurts? Like, what if he falls? This is what I'm thinking as I'm watching that scene. I don't care about anything else that's happening in regards to this. Ashley and that relationship with Michael Darby, I don't know what it is. We never knew what it was. Was it open? Was it not open? Is he gay? I don't know. But they're still co-parenting. They went to the Bahamas together. You think that she got a coochie craving? Probably. So Ashley FaceTimes with Gizelle, and they talk about confronting Robyn. They're going to have a meeting at Gizelle's house in order to confront Robyn about everything that's going on with Juan. Gizelle, her storyline this season is going to be Jason, and it's going to be about her daughters leaving her. We know that this is very true for her. I've only heard great things about Gizelle as a mom, how involved she is when it comes to her daughters. That's very true for her. But of course, Gizelle has been told by the audience, and producers have probably told Gizelle this season, you have to call Robyn out. You call everyone else and their marriages out. You have to call Robyn out. But of course, she's going to do it with kid gloves. She's going to warn Robyn. And I know some of you that are Robyn and Gizelle Green Eye Bandit fans will be like, well, that's what you should do for a friend. Agreed. But I think you should also have the same respect for other people's friends and family. especially their marriages. I'm just saying, like, I feel like you should have that same respect because that's your colleague. It may not be your best friend, but that's still your colleague. You should still have a level of respect. You know them more than we do. I can understand maybe Joe Schmo on the street not having respect for someone else's marriage. But even then, have respect for something that, you know, God forbid, you don't want that karma. Just saying. Speaking of Gizelle and Jason, first of all, Jason is cute. I'm not going to take that away from him. I don't watch Winter House. Apparently, that's where he's from. Him being on the show is a great look for Jason. And we understand these reality stars, anytime they're on reality TV, specifically Bravo, they all want to be on shows. They all want to be on TV. Winter House is a small show in comparison to the Real Housewives franchise. Okay? So this is a great look for him, a great opportunity for Jason. But some of you that have watched Winter House and are familiar with Jason have said Gizelle is not his type. And when she says, don't be looking, he's like, not looking. And I was like, I know he's not looking. Their energy, their chemistry doesn't read well on camera. That's what I will say. I'm not going to say that it's fake. I'm not going to say that it's not real. Read between the lines. On camera, it reads as very forced. But she needed a man. And we all have said it. Ever since everything with Sherman went awry on the show, the one time she brought a real relationship, it blew up in her face. And she had decided at that point that she was never going to bring a real relationship on this show again. Okay. Fine, Gizelle. Look, fine. But then maybe it's time for you to get off of reality TV. And I used to love Gizelle in the beginning of Real Housewives of Potomac, but over the last few years, it's gotten really like fake and phony. It's gotten really just too rehearsed. It's gotten mean and disgusting when involving people's marriages and families. So she's talking about how the West Wing has seen things that it hasn't seen in a long time. I don't believe it. Look, I don't believe it. But they're having a long distance relationship. He lives in New York. I didn't know. I'd never seen him. I see some of the Summer House folks in New York. I actually was on the same plane as Carl with Dorinda and Jen Fessler. Who else was on? Oh, Bree Fleming from Summer House. Martha Spinney was on my flight as well. Anyways, so Grace is getting ready for college. Adore and I apologize. I can't remember everyone's names, but it's okay. So we're seeing them interact with Jason and how they feel about Jason. Grace gets her own confessional with her mom, looking beautiful. Grace is a beautiful woman, but all the girls are beautiful. And I really do love her relationship with her daughters. I love seeing that on the show. And I think producers have heard all of us talk about how much we enjoy seeing that. We want to see more of that, as opposed to Gizelle involved in everyone else's life. All right? I mean, her being involved in Robyn's life makes more sense because that's your best friend. Everyone else's situation, just so you can produce a moment, it's giving weird. Anyways, so apparently the girls are warming up to Jason. They're getting to know Jason. They were wondering, like, who's this guy that's following you around? So they see that she calls it a situationship. So it's nothing serious. I don't know if I believe that. She said right now she's focused more on her daughters. Okay. What did Wendy Williams used to say? Some women love to try and play like they're men when it comes to sex and relationships, but women are soft and pink and they end up getting feelings. So it will be interesting to see if this is a real situation, if she ends up starts getting feelings, because they do talk about that. She's like, I haven't gotten into that space where I'm like, oh my God, I miss you. Where are you? What's going on? And she says she likes her space. I mean, I can understand that. I don't know. I don't know with Gizelle. Like, I want to believe Gizelle right now, but Gizelle's so awkward around men. She does such awkward things, and I'm just like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, you have a pretty face, but these awkward moments with her when she's dancing and she's saying these things, and you're like, that ain't sexy. Even for a gay man, I'm like, I don't know how a straight man is looking at that and like, yes, you're beautiful, but what are you doing right now? What are you doing? But heterosexual men, shout out to the heterosexual men that watch the channel. We appreciate you. All right. All right, moving on to Mia and Gordon. As you know, Mia and Gordon have had a lot of drama recently in regards to their marriage, but that's not what we're talking about in episode 1. We're talking about their financial drama. They had to move out of that 11,000 square foot home back into their penthouse that's like 1,500 square feet, which is not that small, but in comparison, it is small. All right. So Gordon was depressed. Gordon says that he's owed like $500,000 from the joint chiropractic. Apparently there was some sort of audit. Gordon feels like Mia also questioned what he was doing in regards to the business side of things like that. He says that there was an audit and he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Was she cleared? I really do feel like they were pushed out because of, I don't know about money situation. You know, I think it was Gizelle who said it was like money laundering or something that might have been happening. Sounds like that was happening. I wouldn't be surprised if, because money laundering is one thing, but if you have someone that's a CEO or the head of something that's just sort of a figurehead and not actually doing work, so you're getting paid to do nothing, that's like stealing money from the company. You're not actually doing work, but you're collecting a check. That's stealing. So they could be seeing the situation like that. According to Gordon, as soon as they decided to leave, which we said, her making that announcement, oh, to our joint chiropractic family, we're no longer there. Like, that was intentional. They wanted whoever was going there because of Mia and her being on the show to stop going there. They're saying that funds started going down once they pulled from joint chiropractic. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't know how they would even know that. All right, because it's not a publicly traded company, so that I know of. I don't know. Haven't Google schmoogled it. Okay. All right. So Mia and her confusion. Oh, who asked the question? Was it Alex Rogers that asked? I can't remember. Yes, I think it was Alex that asked at BravoCon. I can't remember his question, but you know how Mia lies. So Mia says that she's not drinking anymore. He's like, but you're drinking wine. Mia, oh, it was such a Mia moment though. She's not drinking anymore, but she's drinking wine. All right. She's not drinking hard liquors, she says now. All right. So she does say that, you know, that because she was drinking last season, she feels like she said and did things that she normally wouldn't do. Mind you, she made that more about what she said about Karen and not her behavior in Miami. Do you know that Robyn during BravoCon, and I was actually shocked by this, that she didn't see anything wrong with what Mia did during the Miami trip. I was really dumbfounded by that. I was like, you didn't see anything wrong with Mia's behavior in Miami? Like, we knew it at the moment because you were literally filming like you were Robyn TMZ or RMZ during that moment, but like even in retrospect, she didn't really see anything wrong. I can't remember her exact words, but I think I tweeted about it as well. I was really shocked. I was like, really? Robyn? But Mia during BravoCon took ownership. She says, I should have never thrown glass or anything like that at another black woman. I was just like, Mia is literally contradicting, and she's the one who actually did it. But Robyn saw nothing wrong with it. Okay. Anyways, so Mia feels like she should apologize to Karen for calling her a hoe. Gordon was like, I don't think you called her a hoe. Well, she kind of insinuated it because she brought up the whole Blue Eyes situation. All right, or her friend, manager, or whoever that may have known Karen. Whatever. All right. So it seems as if they are already starting to allude to maybe some issues happening between Mia and Gordon, and maybe those issues might be money things. During BravoCon weekend, I don't know if you've seen some of the interviews that Mia did. She did say that she's legally divorced legally separated, and you know who uses divorce word, Kyle Richards. Anyways, so she says she's legally separated. That's why she's still wearing a ring. But when asked if she was engaged, because she did confirm that she was seeing someone else, someone special. And then she was asked, so are you engaged? And she's like, no, but we are committed. Okay, you're not even divorced. So it sounds as if what Gordon was accusing her of in his interview with TMZ is true, that she had moved on. But Gordon was not ready for her to move on. He was like, if you want to have your side thing, that's fine. But now Gordon doesn't have the money anymore. So she's moved on. And a lot of you said you're not mad at her for moving on. All right. Candiace and Chris. Candiace, what were you wearing in this scene? I just have to call that out. So Candiace, as you know, she's busy. Mind you, I didn't even hear. I don't even remember the taglines. I have Peacock, so did I skip this tagline? I don't remember because so many of you were like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to listen to her sing every single week. I don't remember hearing it because I don't really pay attention. After we rate them and talk about them, I don't even pay attention to them during the season. But some of you really do pay attention. Some of you remember these taglines from yesteryear. I don't. I'm just saying. Candiace and Chris, they go on a picnic. She's talking about touring and how much money she spent during the last tour. She spent 6 figures. And of course, she went through, especially for a female artist, it is very expensive. It's part of the reason why labels do not want to really invest in girl groups anymore or female artists, because it is expensive, from hair to, as she was saying, the chicken cutlets and all this different stuff that she has to do in order to tour. She said she spent like 6 figures of her own money. 6 figures of her own money. Anyways, so they talk a little bit about that and what's going on with that when it comes to her career. They also talk about Robyn and the hypocrisy of Robyn, because Robyn kept on saying that she defended Chris during the whole rumors from last season. But Candiace was like, it felt like you were defending him to us, but when you were with other people, you kind of went along to get along. All right. So she didn't feel 100% supported, and she feels as if maybe Robyn was doing what she was doing and acting like she was supportive because she knew that this rumor was looming. And you remember, she originally said, I was waiting for Karen to bring it up. Okay. So Candiace has her issues with Robyn, and I think Candiace and Robyn still have their issues because during BravoCon weekend, Candiace called their podcast The Two Broke Girls, which made me very funny. Very funny. Because here's the thing, and I've been saying this, and this is part of the reason why I never covered that Tasha K story with this woman, because there was no credibility. I saw Giorgio Says did some of his due diligence in regards to figuring out the lies. But for me, I feel like the lies were very clear. Like, she had no credible evidence that she was ever with Chris Bassett besides saying, oh, I was with Chris Bassett. She didn't sound credible. She actually sounded unwell, this woman. So I don't understand why Robyn and Gizelle would believe these rumors. So they, behind a paywall, said that they believe these rumors. Candiace not allegedly, I guess she said this publicly, that she believes that Gizelle was behind this woman in this story. It wouldn't shock me, especially because Gizelle didn't do her due diligence in making sure that there was solid information. But they believe it. I don't believe it, and I hate the fact that we're even giving this a light. I hate the fact that this is going to even come up at the reunion, because this woman has no credibility. Gizelle, remember past the holy whore? And all the credibility, credible evidence that there was that he was cheating on you? And that your relationship with him, the rekindling of your relationship a couple of seasons ago, was invalid and not credible either? Like, that's credible information. All right? Even your story against Chris Bassett last season wasn't that credible because of the way you were presenting it. It just was like, this doesn't make sense. You waited till the camera started rolling to say that you were uncomfortable. Okay. This is where she loses me. She loses me with this stuff. Gizelle, speaking of. So that was her conversation with Chris, and she was talking about Chris doing Pilates. Chris, you should do Pilates. I love Pilates. But I get it. Like, Pilates is a lot harder than people think that it is, and it only gets harder. But I love my Pilates. I'm actually missing it right now. I can't wait to get back. But anyways, so Charisse is back. Womp womp, woo woo woo, Charisse. No. Charisse is back. That confessional look I don't know about that confessional look. But she's back. All right. So she, Ashley, and Gizelle go to Giselle's unconstructed home still. Like the women are like tiptoeing in order to get to her backyard. Gizelle is just a mess in every department of her life, her home, her fashion, her messiness. So they decide to have this sort of confrontation, this, group meeting, this, what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's okay. I'm still running on fumes at this point. So they decide to meet with Robyn to confront her about her cheating. Not her cheating. Juan's cheating. Because they feel like she's not taking it serious enough. They feel like she should be doing more. I don't know. So they sit Robyn down. Robyn comes and she says that the laundromat story is a complete lie. He wasn't hugged up with her. And then look, I remember, because I was probably one of the first people to get that story. And I did not run with that story because I felt like the pictures that you're showing me doesn't have any validity. All I see is Juan and this woman in a laundromat. I mean, I just don't run with everything that's sent to me. And I can't recall if the person said that they were hugged up, but I do remember hearing that element. And I was like, unless you have a picture of them hugged up in the laundromat or at the nail salon, then this has no validity. And I know right now, and that's the thing. I've heard other rumors about Juan in those DMV streets that probably have a little bit more validity, allegedly. Okay? But to me, it also wasn't as valid as the whole, I have a receipt for our hotel room that he signed and paid for. Just saying. So they talk about the whole situation with this woman from Canada, but they also talk about this whole Coach Bree situation. And Robyn said that, she had already told Juan before he went to go get his nails done with Coach Bree. She's like, the block is hot. You shouldn't do this, but he does it anyway. So to me, that's disrespectful, but we're not surprised by this. Juan has been disrespectful to Robyn for years. And everyone flashes back to that scene where he basically was like, I'm not in love with her. I can't stand her. I want to be with someone I'm in love with. And I just don't know how you come back from that. I don't know how you get full on remarried to someone that said those types of things back then. And you can't tell me that they've built this relationship to a point where we are today, because I still don't believe it. I still don't feel the love between these people. But that's me. And like I said before, I don't care. If Robyn likes it, I'll love it for her. Your relationship. But if you're going to keep putting it on this show, this fake and phony relationship, I'm going to continue to call it out and be like, I don't want to see this. It feels fake. It feels phony. It doesn't feel real. It's not interesting anymore. But of course, I know there were a lot of rumors that Robyn was going to get fired. She wasn't coming back. And I was just like, no, this is too juicy for them not to at least bring her back this season and let it play out. All right. So they talk about that. Robyn feels like the world is already has stole her joy. And I felt for Robyn because I was just like, it's one thing to put your life out there on a reality show, but to feel like the world is coming after you about your relationship. And I know some of you are like, well, she signed up for it. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, we got to give people grace because she is the woman in this situation that has been cheated on or has been lied to. So I don't want to come down on Robyn. Like, I don't want Robyn on the side of the curb, like in the trailer. But at the same time, like Robyn, like this man has showed you who he is for years, and you're continuously staying with him. You're continuously bringing him on the show. You're continuously supporting him. And she might answer that, well, he supported me when I wasn't working, or look, maybe. I just don't understand. You know, so many people have said, Robyn, you could have had such a great storyline where you leave Juan and you go on your single journey. But maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she really wants to focus on just raising her kids, and maybe in a bit she will do that, focus on dating. Or she's gonna drag this out, so then she's gonna get a divorce in a couple of years, and then she has another story to keep her on the show. And one of the things that I've discovered, especially in this reality TV reckoning and seeing how the housewives, and not just the housewives, but Bravo celebrities and reality TV stars act, and not just in the Bravo space, but also on other shows that we talk about, the intoxication of fame is a real thing. The addiction to fame is a real thing. And when you come to BravoCon and you see how the fans react to these people, and I get it, it becomes like this, oh, and you're treated like the celebrity. You're moved around from here to there, and people are screaming and da da da. People are intoxicated with that, even if they have money. Even though a lot of them don't have money, even if you have money, you still kind of want that level of recognition and fame and things like that. But I believe that this for Robyn, the recognition and the fame might play a part, but for Robyn, this is a real check for her. It has helped her embezzled hats. It has helped her do other things, and that we're going to see this season as well. But Robyn, I just wish people realize that being in a relationship for practical reasons is actually more detrimental to your children than actually leaving. Kids are more resilient than you give them credit. Show them that you deserve more. I feel like you teach your children so much subliminally that you don't even realize. Just my take. I'm not a parent, but I'm just as a child, I just wanted to let you guys know. Guys, if you're just joining us, as always, don't forget to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Be sure to share the video because sharing is caring. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm live from Las Vegas from BravoCon weekend. As I said before, I will be traveling still this week, so the content will be coming because you still got content. Shout out to the members, you still got content. If you're not a member, I have posted some of the BravoCon panels here on the channel, so give it a like, go give it a comment, just in case you may have missed it. All right, and I will do a BravoCon something recap at some point. All right, let's get to this these other parts of this scene. I will say this: if you watch the body language, because you know we're body language experts, we're laughing, we're kidding. But if you do look at the body language and their faces, it felt rehearsed. Even Robyn at one point was just like, "Oh, this party's for me." We already know that Gizelle gave Robyn a heads up on this. The smirks on their faces. Robyn had a smirk. At one point, Ashley had a smirk. The only person that was really committed to the role was Gizelle. Gizelle had a very serious face on. Charisse got really emotional. I think Charisse's situation, her story, was honest. I do believe that it was honest. I believe it was real. I believe her husband cheated, her ex-husband cheated on her, and she got really emotional. But I also believe that Charisse has decided, I've got to be more vulnerable. I have to show more, because that was part of the reason why I did not come back. And, you know, we've said countless times that Charisse made her return about Karen and focusing on Karen. Karen, during BravoCon, said, our relationship was a season. That season is over. I'm hoping that they will focus on not trying to come for Karen again this season. But I appreciated Charisse in this scene because it's now about her and how she sees what's happening with Juan and Robyn as what happened to her. She said it opened a wound for her, and she gets really emotional about it. I felt like that was real. That was probably like the realest moment in this confrontation that they had, because like I said before, it felt like not real. It felt like and scene. It did not feel real to me, especially with the smirks on their faces. At one point, Ashley opened up about her cheating, not her cheating, but her cheating situation in her marriage. Gizelle opened up about her cheating in her marriage, and how they dealt with it and what they felt and what they went through. And Robert's like, what do you guys want from me? Do you want me to break down? Do you want me to say this? You want to do that? And the ladies already know. They're like, Robyn's going to believe what she wants to believe. There's nothing that we can say or do that's going to change Robyn's mind. She has decided that this is what she's okay with. We said that last season. But we also understand producers have told you, ladies, that you got to call Robyn out. This has been revealed. It has come out. You have to call Robyn out the same way that you call other people out. over the last few seasons. The episode 1 for me, I would give it an 8. I thought it was solid. It wasn't necessarily great, but it wasn't bad either. But it's just the first episode. It will be interesting to see how much of this that we're going to be focused on all season. We already saw for the preview that NECA is already talking, actually brings this news to Dr. Wendy Zeffo about the tribalism that is going to be discussed this season. Are we digging up old stories from the past? Okay. And who brought NECA on? I know Ashley is the one who brought her on, but who casted NECA? Did you guys really? Because some people have speculated that they decided to get a dark-skinned girl to come at Wendy because they don't want the optics of colorism again this season. Do I believe that? You just never know. What do you believe, guys? How would you rate this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac? Let me know in the comment section, replay crew, those of you that are watching in the live chat. Don't forget to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms so that you're not missing out on everything. And stay tuned. More than likely, I will post our recap of Married to Medicine tomorrow, just because it's a busy day here in Las Vegas. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday.
Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the